So, a huge thing in Muslim communities that I noticed here in America is, and this applies to all religions, and at this point, it's part of, human nature and American culture. I don't know if other countries have a lot of this going on, but basically, kids have to act religious to please their parents, but so many of them honestly aren't religious, and that applies to a lot of the Muslim community in Arizona. I mean, you know, Islam is one of those Orthodox religions where you're not really necessarily allowed to stray and do any of the no-nos. And so, homosexuality is like you're supposed to be getting a death punishment for it, and anybody you ask from that religion will be like, "Oh yes, they're such bad people." But yet again, you also have folks in the Arizona Muslim community like Saiaf Abdallah and like Saif Ul-Haq who are homosexuals. And they try to leverage that against me during my security clearance process, which they were in charge of investigating. They put themselves in charge of investigating my security clearance because they had the conflict of interest, which is that they knew that I would have money on the way as compensation for the damages caused. And they knew that they figured, hey, we know him. Maybe we can try to screw him over with the information that we know about him, and that way we can rob him of his security clearance compensation. And Saif Ul-Haq and Saiaf Abdallah, the two homosexuals in Arizona Muslim community, they tried so hard to seduce me, and so did Saiaf Abdallah's little brother, Ahmad Abdallah. And Saif Ul-Haq even sent me a nude photograph, like trying to disguise the fact that he was trying to seduce me. And it's the thumbnail of this video, so it's there for the world to see. He posted it online, and then he tried to surreptitiously send it to me, but I just kept a record. And so if he tries to, I even covered up his buttocks because his butt is showing in that the nude photograph that he put out there, and he's wearing fake hair. I mean, the guy is bald. And not to insult bald people. I mean, I'm balding, but the guy's like wearing a wig and pretending he has hair and stuff. And so, it's just one of those religious community phenomenons. Like everybody's pretending to be religious and a goody good boy. Saif Ul-Haq was born with microcephaly and fetal alcohol syndrome because his mother is an alcoholic. Like in Islam, you're not supposed to drink alcohol, but yet again, you have this retarded kid that's in charge of investigating security clearances somehow. And he runs to the Muslim community for help when he's not able to rob me because he feels entitled to robbing me, and he feels like that should happen, right? And Saif Ul-Haq to the rescue, the Muslim community to the rescue. They go to save their Muslim brethren, the homosexual guy who pretends to be Muslim, but I lived with him. He doesn't pray, he doesn't fast, he just smokes weed and drinks all day, and so. I don't know what this video is about necessarily, hypocrisy, the disdain of homosexuality in that religion, folks trying to leverage their homosexuality against me. What they did is they tried to flirt with me and send me nude photographs, and they tried to cover up a rape that occurred on base by going, oh, you definitely wanted it because you like men. And so they started like sending me photos of themselves naked and stuff. And you know what? I hope the entirety of the Arizona Muslim community sees this because they treat these folks like they're royalty, like they're some sort of very special officers, and they deserve all this respect, and they command their respect because of all they do. But I mean, these guys like just rob the entire community. I mean, they rob people of their security clearance compensation. These guys have like supercars and hypercars and tens of cars, gigantic car garages, many, many mansions, scattered throughout the world. And when they try to ruin my life, and I mean by means of rape, by means of threatening my life, by means of sexual assault, by means of assaulting me in the nighttime. Just the other night, Saif Ul-Haq came and stabbed me in the foot just to show me that he was in charge and he could put a needle in me anytime. These folks try to put themselves under the umbrella of being Muslims because that's all they know, and that's what they feel like they should look like in order to look like the right kinds of people, right? and they go and they go off and they represent the Muslim community despite them being anything but. And I've had intimate conversations with these guys. I mean, they used to consider me a good friend. They would tell me things. They'd be like, "Well, we have to pray in front of our parents because we're shy to let them know that we don't really believe in all that all that nonsense that is their religion, you know, um, and things like that." And so it's just like these guys that were trying so hard to try to out me and make me look like a homosexual. Not only were they doing that to cover up something that actually occurred on the military base, but they themselves turned out to be semi-closeted homosexuals, and I just think that's appalling. I think the Arizona Muslim community should answer to that. You know, it's like you guys elected these guys as your representatives, and they're diddling each other in the butt the moment you turn your head. And you know what? I don't like insulting homosexuals and gay people myself personally. I know they're gonna exist in the world no matter what. I'm not trying to fight that reality. I just kind of accept people from no matter their background, and so that's why they took a liking to me, because they knew that I accepted them for who they were. But they run back to their community and try to go, oh well, Mo is a gay fag, go get him, you know. It's like, actually I volunteer at a little coffee shop for a little while. That helps those kinds of folks, but to be honest, like I'm pretty straight, and I'm confident enough in my straightness to be among gay people without having tantalizing feelings. And it's like they can't say the same, right? I'm like a 3.5 out of 10, and they're sending me nude photographs to try to provoke some sort of disallowed sexual thought. Well, joke's on them. I don't pretend to be religious. I am who I am, and I'm confident in who I am. I like who I am. And them, on the other hand, they have to pretend to love their wives while they have their male side piece. They have to pretend to act straight, but really they're gay. And it's really sad. It's really sad, and it's very pathetic. I think they're pathetic losers, not because they're closeted, but because they try to pretend to be closeted just so they can leverage that against people that they think might just be gay, right? And so these guys that are gay are not Muslims, and these guys that are gay are not allies. And so it's like they're just so unconfident about who they are, that they have to project that everybody else is excuse my language, but just to paint a very vivid picture, they have to pretend to be somebody else entirely, so that they can point at a confident straight person and say, that guy's a faggot, and it's like, dude, joke's on you. You're the one taking nudies and sending it to other dudes, and you guys are the one pushing each other's poop in deeper. Like, I'm not really taking any part of that. So yeah, pretty all over the place vlog documentary segment. Sorry about that, but it's really hard to address this without like being overwhelmed with pity and contempt for the fucking losers. It's like, who does that? I don't know. I really don't know. And tomorrow they're gonna go back to their mosque, and they're gonna give children lessons on how to be religious. And then people are gonna be very surprised when their kiddos get raped. Don't say I didn't tell you.